Hi guys and gals, welcome back to the channel again. I'm just out for another little drive in Sylvia, my mk2 Cavalier, also known as Opel Ascona in the rest of Europe. I'm known as Chevrolet Monza in Brazil, and various other things with different front ends and slightly different body styling in lots of other parts of the world. It's one of GM's J cars. It was like the GM J platform, and it was rehashed in lots of parts of the world, even as a Cadillac, a Pontiac, Oldsmobile, even an Isuzu, and a Holden in Australia, and all the same basic chassis, the same basic car, just restyled with different front ends, different back ends, slightly different body panels, different interiors, but the basic car was the same car. But yeah, I'm just out in the Peak District, out in the Peak District National Park out in Derbyshire. It just makes for a bit more of an interesting drive than my normal drives when I normally just drive to and from work in Sheffield. Get to see some beautiful scenery any minute, some beautiful views. Got my windows down, so sorry if it's a little bit windy, and I've got my sunroof open as well, so there's a bit of wind noise, that's the reason why. It's one of the things I love about these old Cavaliers though. I mean, this car's from 1986, but the very first ones are from 1981. So when you think about it, this is actually a car of the 70s, because it was launched in 81, but most of the design and development will have taken place during the mid to late 70s into the early 80s. So really, it's a car that started its development in the 1970s, but yet it can drive the way that it drives, and it can handle the way that it handles. I mean, I'm using this as my daily driver most days. I have got an Astra twin top as well, which I use on the days when it's, you know, chucking it down with rain and the weather's not great. I prefer to use that rather than using Sylvia. But you know, this is in effect a car from the 70s that drives like a modern day car, only better. I just prefer this to drive than any modern car that I drive. I mean, if you're watching this and this is the first video of mine that you've ever watched, you'll not know the fact that I work in the car trade, and I've worked in the car trade for 15 years. So over them 15 years, I've driven literally thousands upon thousands of cars, new cars, used cars, cars of, you know, all ages I've driven over that time. And I still prefer these old school cars. You know, I much prefer to jump in the old Cavalier and drive this to and from work than any modern car. I mean, yeah, some modern cars are really, really nice, you know, don't get me wrong, there are the odd exception. You know, some modern cars do drive really, really, really nicely, but the big problem for me is that for most modern cars, you jump in one, look at that view guys, look at that view, absolutely stunning. But yeah, the problem for me is that you jump in most modern cars, and then you jump in another and it just feels exactly the same as the last one you drove. It could be a totally different make, totally different model, and you'll jump in one car and then into another and it'll just drive exactly the same as the one you've just driven. There's not as much character with cars these days. Like in the past, you jump in one car, you jump in something else and it'd feel totally different. You know, cars had real character. You jump in one, you jump in another, and it'd feel totally different. These days, because cars have just become so samey, so similar in design, you know, they're very quiet, they're comfortable, they're refined and everything else, blah 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 blah, but just find them boring. Yeah, look at this scenery, guys, look at that. I'll just angle the camera so you can see that scenery. It's just absolutely stunning out here, absolutely stunning. Coming down this this road called Winnats Pass. It's a Saturday afternoon, so obviously there's a lot of tourists. There's a lot of tourists and a lot of walkers and hikers out and about, so even though I'm right out in the middle of the countryside, it's still busy. Very difficult to find nice quiet roads these days to have a proper nice drive out in the countryside, because everywhere you go in the countryside it's just busy. It's just busy everywhere with tourists and people out walking. I'm actually trying to catch up with the yellow Mini that's down in front. I don't know if you'll see the yellow Mini down in front, but that's my girlfriend in her little yellow Mini that's got the nickname Ali G. Nicknamed Ali G by her daughter Holly. When she got the car, it was determined it needed to have a name, so it got called Ali G. But yeah, she's driving down in front and I'm coming to catch her up. But this is one road now. Look at this valley that I'm coming down, stunning. It's definitely a second gear road. I came down here the other day in third gear and I had to put my brakes on and go down into second because it is pretty bloody steep. So I'll let the engine do a little bit of engine braking for me instead of relying just on the brakes, because it is chuffing steep. I don't know if you can really appreciate how steep it is on camera, but yeah, if I just angle up so you can see the top of the hill, the top of the mountain up there. I'll angle it back down again so you can see down the valley. I'll go for third gear now. You can see the little yellow Mini down in front. There she is, my girlfriend Becca. You know, little yellow Mini. We're just going down to the little village of Castleton. Stopping off at a little local pub for a little drink, and then she's heading off back home, and I'm heading off back to my home the other direction. So hey, that car's turned off now. I'll go and catch up with her now. Oh, this is fun. Here she is. She's waving to me. It's cool being able to have a little drive out in the countryside with your girlfriend. It's pretty cool, because I've got to stop and wait for this traffic now, which is annoying. Oh, they're both turning that way, so I'm going. There we go. Yeah, see what I mean about it being so busy? It's just like tourist, it's just tourist central. So busy out here. Get over a bit, you don't need that much room. How much road do you need? People come with a direction right in the middle of the road, you don't need that much road. So yeah, this is the little village come town of Castleton. Beautiful little place, really, really nice. Lovely place. It's really nice here at Christmas as well. They have all Christmas decorations. Like I said about it being very, very touristy, as you can see. Busy, busy, busy. Somebody beck your nose. Busy, busy, busy. This is where we're going anyway, the Peak Hotel. She goes turning in. Hopefully there'll be some parking spaces. Looks like there might be. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, there is. There's a few parking spaces. Right then guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.